guys, and welcome to our channel. So if you are new here, welcome. My name is Sade and I am the owner of Third Generation Conjure. So for today's video, we are doing the 2026 tarot readings, and this is something that we do every year, that I do every year. And we're just going to see what the year holds. And for this video, we are going to go with the sign of Taurus. So for this particular video, I am reading from a deck called the Well-Worn Path. It's like one of the first decks I got over 20 years ago. So I do like this deck for spiritual messages, and then we're just reading from the traditional Rider-Waite deck, okay? So we're just going to pull and see what 2026 has in store for Taurus. And before we go any further, just make sure that you like and subscribe so you can be notified anytime we do any uploads. But yeah, also make sure to check your sun, moon, and rising sign, because things may resonate just a little bit differently. So without further ado, let's get into the reading. All right, Taurus, so we are back with your reading. So first we're going to start with the present. And for the present, I pulled the King of Wands, the Six of Pentacles, and the Law of Three. So first we'll start with the King of Wands. The King of Wands represents a figure that is a leader, okay? The King of Wands doesn't wait for any type of permission. He leads with authority. You can also see this card represent those that are maybe under the sign of Aries or maybe some type of fire sign. But overall, this is a period where you are really stepping into your power. You're really stepping into your authority. You're stepping forward with confidence. So you may be in a period where you're finding like a newfound sense of confidence. Make sure that you hone in on that. You hone in on that confidence, because it's going to be important for you throughout the entire year. Many of you may be starting businesses or stepping into some type of leadership role, maybe a promotion, or even something as far as management, some type of role that elevates you. You're made for it, okay? So if you have any kind of imposter syndrome or anything like that, this is just telling you that this is the time for you to really step into those leadership type roles, and make sure that you are no longer waiting for permission to do anything, and you're not seeking any type of validation from other people. And behind this, we get the Six of Pentacles. So one thing about the Six of Pentacles, when you see this deals with charity. It deals with give and take. So if you look at this card, there's a man who's giving breadcrumbs to this poor man. And over here, this person has nothing. They just have a scale above their head. So this is all about balancing that giving and receiving, making sure that you're staying in a giving energy and a receiving energy as well, but also evaluating those relationships that are just not reciprocal. So this is going to be really a time for you to evaluate the reciprocity in your relationships, okay? What are you giving more energy to than you're getting out? So you may notice that you start to distance yourself from those situations or relationships that are just not meeting that standard and reciprocating your energy, okay? And know that it is okay for you to do so, because things should be balanced, okay? Like I stated, regardless if that's some type of relationship, or even if it's something as far as a job that you've been working hard on and you're just not receiving that energy back. And then lastly, for the present, we get the Law of Three. So the Law of Three, once again, is kind of like a reciprocity card as well. Whatever you give out this year, that's what you're going to get back. The Law of Three is like karmic return. So do unto others as you would have them do unto you type energy. Whatever you put out this year is going to return to you amplified. So if you're going after your goals and you're pursuing all the things that you wanted to pursue, then just expect that's going to come back to you, okay? The energy that you put out is what comes to you amplified. Also, make sure that you're aware of your intentions, especially going into the new year. You know, this just also tells you that your words and your actions and your energy are going to shape your reality going into the new year, Taurus, okay? So then next, I pulled on some challenges. And I like challenges because challenges tell us things that we may not be aware of that we can bring to the forefront in order for us to make the changes necessary we need to be successful, okay? And for this, we get the Ten of Cups, the Seven of Wands, and the Wand card. Okay, so the Ten of Cups deals with harmony, personal relationships. Sometimes you see this as family relationships. It could be, once again, those personal relationships. With this coming up as a challenge, this may be some challenges in these types of relationships, and this may be due to this reciprocity card here with the Six of Pentacles. So you may see some challenges where you're just starting to realize that the energy is just not balanced. Maybe you got someone that's a family member, you've been calling them, checking up on them, but you don't get the same in return. So you'll notice that you'll start pulling back, and they may notice that, and that cause a little friction in the relationship this year. But be okay with that, okay? The Ten of Cups also deals with pressure to keep the peace, okay? So a lot of times you may be biting your tongue in order to keep the peace, but this is a period of you really needing to stand your ground, okay? The Seven of Wands is the card of defensiveness. So there may once again be some type of misunderstanding as far as your personal relationships are concerned, but just know that you need to protect your boundaries this year, okay? This is not like a year to be a pushover, even if it may cause some kind of rockiness in personal relationships. Just make sure that you're standing your ground and you're standing up for yourself. And then behind this, we get the card of the Wand. So as far as the Wand, this represents personal willpower and direction, okay? The Wand is used to channel energy. It's used to make things happen. So like we stated before, your energy with the law of three, whatever you dish out is going to come back to you amplified. So the challenge this year is for you to basically is your willpower, if you should say. So this is going to be your motivation and making sure that you stay motivated to accomplish your goals, okay? Because with the Wand, this represents your personal will and also your direction. So, with the challenge, this isn't necessarily that you don't have the power. It's kind of knowing where to direct it, okay? So this is about, getting a game plan. So it may be that you know what you want to do, but you also got to figure out the steps you need to take to get to that goal or to accomplish whatever it is that you wish to accomplish. So this is also learning that not everything deserves your energy. Okay, we saw that with the Seven of Wands. So this is about picking and choosing your battles wisely. Not every battle is meant to be fought. Okay, so just know when to hold them, kind of know when to fold them this year. Then next we get just some underlying roots. So what are some underlying roots that are affecting this year, are, kind of like influences? For this, we get the Four of Swords, the card of Death, and the Book of Shadows. Okay, so with the Four of Swords, this deals with rest, okay? It deals with rejuvenation, transformation. So one thing that will influence your year is if you are taking the time to yourself to regenerate and rejuvenate yourself. Okay, the Four of Swords can be something as far as like a period of burnout. So once again, it's really going to be important that you balance, that you kind of balance your goals and your ambitions with also making sure that you're getting proper rest, whether that's mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, okay? Also with the Four of Swords, this deals with, a period where some of the things that you have been through have built your character. We see this with the Death card. So the Death card is overall transformation. It's like the death of an old self, and you start stepping into this new type energy, this new type personality. You're just overall a new person this year, and that's really going to influence your year, where you're not staying stuck in old ways of doing things. Even if this means that you're stepping into a role where you're kind of taking up for yourself and you're standing your ground, especially if you haven't done it in the past. And this may ruffle some feathers with those that are around you that are used to you being a little bit more timid, okay? So overall, this is like a period of you really moving from old identities and belief systems, okay? You may even get into a new spiritual practice or something of that nature, but that's really going to influence how your year goes, okay? You're no longer being naive, and this is like you learning lessons through like trial and errors, okay? So the Book of Shadows comes up, and this is like experiences, okay? So one thing that will influence your year is what lessons have you learned. You know, if you've been through hell and you've gone through this period of burnout and you're recovering from this, this is really a period of you taking those lessons and applying them to move forward in your life. So really what's going to influence your year is applying the lessons that you have learned. Okay. So then next we pulled on, you know, just basically how you appear to others, how others are perceiving you throughout this year. And we get the Ace of Wands, we get the Devil in reverse, and we get the card of Hearth. So we'll start with the Ace of Wands. So when you see the Ace of Wands, this is like newness. This is like new beginnings. Once again, we saw that Death card that comes up as underlying themes, which is like an overall transformation in your life, you being a new person. Okay, so people are seeing this new version of you. You see it with once again, like I said, the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is like a rebirth. Okay, it's like being something completely different. You know, your life changing drastically. You know, just a whole new life, a whole new being. And as far as how you appear and how others perceive you this year, this is like them seeing you as someone who's different, you know, who is more vibrant. Okay, so more lively. You know, the Ace of Wands is all about new energy. Okay, also with the Devil reverse, this is getting out of those toxic cycles, those toxic mindsets. So if you have been someone who has had like some type of low vibrational thoughts, or, you know, just kind of been in a downward spiral or something with what we saw with the Four of Swords, which is like a burnout. This is like people seeing you overcome that. Okay, you're being more liberated in a sense. Okay, when you see the Devil upright, this deals with bondage. Okay, it deals with toxic situations, things of that nature. And when you see it in the reverse form, this is like a period where you're getting over old cycles and toxic dynamics, and also you're limiting attachments and things and energy that people can direct towards you. So people see that you are kind of protecting your boundaries this year, and that's going to be obvious this year, Taurus. Okay, and then behind this we get the card of the Hearth. So the Hearth deals with warmth, it deals with authority. It's a card that deals with your home and also your community. So you know, a lot of you under this sign may be homebodies. Maybe you are staying to yourself because you're limiting these toxic relationships and cycles that maybe those within your close personal relationships are putting you through. So people are just seeing that, you know, you're stepping up and you're just not taking anyone's crap like you may have been taken in the past. Okay, and with this Hearth card, this also deals with community. So a lot of you may be stepping into community leadership roles within your community, leadership roles within work. You know, this could be online spaces. We saw that with that King of Wands, where you're stepping into a period of authority. So a lot of you are expanding. Okay, you seem to have a lot of influence when it comes to things that involve your community, and that will be a lot of the ways people perceive you this year. Just kind of perceive you as like this leader type energy. Okay, so then I pulled on a theme for this year. So what's an overall theme for Taurus? And for this we get the Eight of Pentacles, we get the Page of Wands, and we get the Words of Magus. So we'll first start with the Eight of Pentacles. So the Eight of Pentacles is the work card. Okay, so when you look at this card, you see that this guy, he's steadily at work and he's building all of these pentacles. Okay, he's chiseling these pentacles away. He's just kind of like in his bag. He's working on his career. So as far as a theme for this year, a lot of you are going to be focused on your career. You're going to be focused on your work and elevating your career. Also, with the Eight of Pentacles, this can also deal with not just work, but also intentional creation. Some of you may be creating new things. It also shows like some type of mastery. So sometimes you'll see this as someone who completed some type of training or education program, something that brings mastery through consistency. Okay, this is also someone who is working on themselves. They're doing the work daily. They're refining their craft. Okay, so if you are once again, you know, maybe you're starting a business or something with this King of Wands in this present, which the King of Wands can be seen as like an entrepreneur as well. But this is kind of like you mastering those skills this year in order for you to have more abundance in the future. And then behind this, we get the Page of Wands. So with the Page of Wands, this deals with inspiration. The page is young. He has curiosity, things of that nature. Once again, you're exuding this kind of youthful type energy and just kind of maybe getting your spark back after a period of being, you know, stuck or unmotivated or just tired. This is like my burnt out card. So this is kind of like you getting your spark back. You're getting your inspiration back this year. This also is about like excitement returning into your life. We saw the Ace of Wands, which is new beginnings, new things, things that spark. You know, when you see I didn't point this out before, but when you see this Ace of Wands, this is like new things coming in, but it's early stages because you see that these branches are sparking. So this is like kind of getting your spark back, new things that are coming into your life, just overall a new energy, but a positive energy, okay? The Page of Wands also deals with, you know, creativity around new ideas, projects, or paths, okay? Behind this, we get the words of Magus, and this deals with manifestation through speech. So really, Taurus, you're going to manifest a lot through speaking. So power of the tongue is going to be very important that you, you know, you pay attention to your words and what it is that you're saying, because it seems like your words are manifesting at a rapid speed this year, okay? So with the words of Magus, this is just, you know, kind of being aware of your intentions, making sure that you're speaking affirmations, things that have to do with speech is going to be important. A lot of you may be getting into things like public speaking, teaching, things of that nature will be beneficial to you this year. It seems like it's an overall overarching theme for you this year, Taurus. So then behind this, I get the influence and aspects. And I'm sorry, y'all. It seems like my voice is going out. I've been doing these videos all day, so I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm going out. So as far as influence and aspects, we get the Two of Pentacles, the King of Swords, and the As Above, So Below. So we'll start with the Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles deals with juggling. And when you see this, this is like you balancing multiple priorities. You'll see it with people who work multiple jobs. Maybe you work a job, you run a business. This is like overall you being able to balance things this year. And you being able to balance things will influence your year, okay? Looks like you got a lot going on, a lot of irons in the fire. And this is just your ability to balance this. This is like balancing, juggling multiple priorities, okay? Behind this, we get the King of Swords. And the King of Swords is all about mental clarity, okay? The King is cool, he's rational, and he also delegates. So one thing that's going to influence your year is your ability to delegate. This is just knowing that you can't do everything on your own, and things that you can delegate, it's going to be important that you do that in order for you to be successful this year, and you don't overwhelm yourself and lead yourself back into this Four of Swords energy, which is this type of burnout card. So your ability to delegate is going to be an influencing aspect for you throughout this year. Then we get the As Above, So Below. So this is like your inner reflecting your outer, okay? So this is just telling you that your inner world is going to reflect on the outside. So once again, make sure that you are paying attention to your words. You're paying attention to the energy that you project out, because that is what you're going to see in your physical reality, okay? So this is about also making sure that you organize your life and you know, just pay attention and be mindful of the energy that you put out, because whatever you put out is going to come back to you, as we saw with that Law of Three card in the present, okay? And so next we pulled on just some aspirations and some concerns for this year. And for this I get, I'm sorry, I'm trying to grab these cards. We get the Three of Swords, the Eight of Cups, and the card of the Moon. So we'll start with the Three of Swords. So with this, as far as an aspiration, this deals with healing, okay, emotional freedom. This is really you wanting to move on from the past, wanting to heal from previous trauma that may have kept you stuck. With the Eight of Cups behind this, this is about walking away. Once again, walking away from this previous heartbreak. This might be some type of situation or relationship that is causing you anguish, and a desire to walk away from that, and also taking steps and making plans to walk away from what no longer fulfills you. You know, once again, whether this is some type of relationship, a mindset shift, or even if it's like something as far as like a job or a location that you want to get away from, this is overall just something that you're concerned with and something that you aspire for this year, and some things that you may be planning to take steps on. Okay, then we get the card of the moon behind this, and the moon deals with the unseen, the unknown. Okay, this could also be some type of concern where you fear the unknown. So it's like you're holding on to things because you possibly fear change, or you don't know how it's going to be if you decide to walk away. This could be like, you know, being at a job for 20 years and you're like, okay, this is all I know. So if I walk away from this, I don't know if the grass is going to be greener on the other side. Or even if it was like a relationship that you've been in for 20 years or something, you know, this is really being okay with the unknown. All right. The moon card also is, you know, about trusting your intuition. So it's going to be very important that you trust your intuition, even if it does seem like it may be, you know, some people may think, you know, something is crazy, but, you know, trust your intuition this year. It's going to be a reliable guide for you. So then I pulled advice, and for this we get the Queen of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, the Hierophant, and the Staghorn God. So we'll first start with the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is similar to the King of Wands that we saw in the beginning of this. Okay, she's the female version. So this is the masculine energy, and this is the feminine energy. So overall, the same message. The Queen of Wands is about believing in yourself. It's about stepping forward with confidence. Okay, it's about really stepping into this leadership role and this Queen of Wands type energy where you are just confident and going after your goals. You believe in yourself. You're getting over that imposter syndrome, knowing that you have the ability to accomplish whatever it is that you want to accomplish. So really the overall advice for this year is for you to move forward in confidence. Also, the Queen of Wands, she balances everything. You know, she's a mother, she's a wife, she's a business owner. You know, even if that's not your situation, this is just about balancing your life and just knowing that you can pursue your goals regardless of whatever it is that you have going on this year. But really a year for you to really step forward in your confidence. Don't be afraid to step into like a leadership role this year either. Once again, getting over that imposter syndrome is going to be imperative for you, Taurus. And then behind this, we get the Ace of Pentacles. So the Ace of Pentacles is something that comes as far as a new opportunity. You're going to be offered something this year, Taurus, and it's going to be on you to have the confidence in order to move forward and accept it. Don't let imposter syndrome stop you from receiving this offer with this Ace of Pentacles, I mean. The Ace of Pentacles is something that's offered to you that has the potential for long-term growth. So make sure that you're not walking away from your blessings because you fear change or you fear that you won't be successful. You will, but you have to step forward with that confidence, Taurus, okay? Then we get the Hierophant, and the Hierophant asks you to kind of evaluate your traditions, okay? He deals with spiritual principles. He also deals with you know, institutions, things of that nature. So you'll see them with like government, large corporations. This could be something that is tied to this offer that comes in. But overall, when you see the Hierophant, it tells you to honor your values, honor your spiritual practices and your traditions this year, okay? Then we get the Staghorn God, and this is about masculine energy, okay? So the Queen of Wands is feminine energy. The King of Wands that we saw is that masculine energy, and the Staghorn God is also that masculine. So this is leaning on that masculine type energy, which deals with pursuing your goals, being aggressive, stepping into a leadership role. So really a period for you to step forward with strength, lead, and also, you know, make sure that you keep your ambition grounded. Okay, this is about you leading with listening to your intuition and leading with instinct and not fear. Once again, this is getting over that imposter syndrome. There will be something that is offered to you that can change the trajectory of your life, but you're going to have to be confident enough to know that you can capitalize on this opportunity and move forward. Okay, so that's going to be your overall theme and overall advice for this year is to do everything with confidence this year, Taurus. Okay, and then lastly, we get outcomes. So for this, we get the Ten of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, and the Reed. Okay. Looks like a very prosperous year for you financially, Taurus. But that's not to say it's not going to come with some hard work. The Ten of Wands is a card of burdens, okay? And when you see this card as far as an outcome, this is like your burdens of success, okay? So this is really going to be a period. We saw with that Two of Pentacles a period of you juggling and you know, and sometimes when you see the Ten of Wands, you're carrying burdens that you don't have to carry yourself. So once again, learning how to delegate. There may be some hard work this year in order for you to get to this Ten of Pentacles and Nine of Pentacles energy, but it's going to be worth it, okay? But also make sure that you're not taking on or biting off more than you can chew, and that you're delegating and allowing people to help you and not try to do everything yourself. With the Ten of Wands, once again, this is like working hard, grinding, but also be mindful, because I also see this with like back issues, okay, from people who overwork, who don't know how to sit down. Make sure that you're taking care of your body as well, and that you're making sure that you balance, so we don't get back to this Four of Swords energy with this burnout. Just make sure that you're taking proper rest, because a lot of you are going to be working very hard on your goals this year. Behind this, we get the Ten of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles is a big money card, okay? This is like a period where you're entering and you're setting up like generational wealth. Is long-term success. With the Nine of Pentacles behind this, this is about enjoying the luxury and reaping the benefits. So whatever you have going on this year, it's going to bring you big money and you'll be able to reap these benefits. The Nine of Pentacles is also a woman who's in a garden herself. Okay, she's by herself. She's enjoying the fruits of her labor. So this is about generational wealth, but this also tells you that it is okay to focus on yourself as well. You can, you know, be planning for the future, planning for your family, but also enjoy some of those fruits of your labor as well, as we see with the Nine of Pentacles. But to get the 9 and the 10, very, very good card for financial progress and success this year, Taurus, if you apply yourself. And then we get the Reed. So the Reed is about integrity, okay? This is about your values. It's really going to be important for you to be ethical in what you do, okay, and not turn a blind eye. When you see this Reed card, this is all about, once again, your ethics. And in order for you to get this energy, you're going to have to you know, pay attention to your values. Be ethical this year, okay? This is just telling you that you're, you know, you're coming into something that's solid and something that's going to bring long-term longevity, success, generational wealth this year, but also be mindful of your values and your integrity at the same time. Okay, Taurus? So overall, very, very good energy for you this year. Get over the imposter syndrome. And just know that, you know, you're the boss and you can move forward and just step into that leadership role, okay? I hope you guys like this video. Hopefully my next video, I'll have my voice together. But yeah, so if you guys would like and subscribe to the channel. And until next time, guys, bye-bye.